counsel, so just hang on 1 second if you would.
All right.
That's the attorney. His name is Richard Hillary. And now we're just getting on the computer here. Mr. Daly, I'm Judge Sara Smolenski, and I actually have met you before because we were dealing with the other case that you have, that you're out on bond on. I think they're still scheduling that. This today is something completely different. This is called an arraignment. And an arraignment is when you first come before the court to hear what you're charged with, what the possible penalties are, and what your rights are. Now they're charging you with an incident from September 30th, a couple of days ago, with armed robbery. They say in the course of committing a larceny of marijuana, you used force or violence against a person by the name of Thomas Foster, and in the course of the conduct, possessed an article used or fashioned in a manner to lead the person present to reasonably believe the article was a dangerous weapon, or represented orally or otherwise that he was in possession of a dangerous weapon. It's a felony that the prosecutor's office, Mr. Daly, has now charged you with a life felony, meaning the penalty can be up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life, and it can allow for a DNA sample to be taken at the time of arrest, where they usually do like a cotton swab of the inside of your mouth. This is referred to today as what we call the arraignment, and you have the right to remain silent, don't need to say anything to anyone about the incident, or anything about it. You can talk with your attorney. You have to have a lawyer. They won't let you go forward without legal representation. Anything you do say orally or in writing can be used against you in court. You have to have a lawyer present during any questioning that you consent to. You have the right to have the lawyer present. And if you couldn't afford to hire a lawyer, the court would appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now they've scheduled 2 appointments for this case, October 16 and October 23. They're both Fridays, 2 weeks out from now and 3 weeks out from now. October 16th is the probable cause conference, but you would get to talk to your attorney and discuss the case with him, Mr. Daly, at the October 16 meeting, helping to determine whether you need to have a preliminary exam. That's the one they scheduled for a week later, the 23rd of October. Both are at 9:15 in the morning. The preliminary exam is where the prosecutor has to present evidence to show, one, that a crime was committed, armed robbery, and that there's probable cause to believe you committed the offense. Now, so far, can you think of any questions you have for me?
Nah, I don't. I'm just confused on everything that happened yesterday, like how I was arrested, and like, I don't think it was fair how they just grabbed me, automatically accused me, and say, "Hey, you robbed this dude." Like,
right. You definitely will want to get into all those details with your attorney, because I don't know anything about it. I don't know the details of the case, but you definitely, when you talk with your attorney, will want to talk about that and ask them about how it happened, how it went down, what occurred, and then give them information. You bonded out on my case, the one you had with felonious assault, possession of a firearm. Yeah. Did you go through a bonding company for that?
Yeah, I believe I went through J&J Bails Bondsman, or I don't know, something along those.
Your family or some friend helped you with that J&J bail bond?
Yeah, my girlfriend.
Okay. So now it's going to be a different bond, and it's going to be expensive. I'll let Mr. Hillary speak, and he can address it. Go ahead, Mr. Hillary.
Your Honor, thank you. I did read the court services report with the pending cases, the prior CCH. I talked to Eric, and he indicated simply that he knows it's not going to be a PR bond, but he would like a low cash assured. He has a child's birthday coming up that he's going to try to attend. And other than that, I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Daly, I don't know the details of your case. And when you're saying how you get arrested and how the dude said you got some involvement. You're going to have to talk to your attorney really a lot, because this is a big case. This is a big
That's
case.
what I'm
This
saying.
is,
And like,
yeah, this
like
is a life
you just
felony.
seen me at court. You just seen me at court. I was literally just
Yeah.
walking to my mom. I was literally just walking to my mom's house. Two detectives pull up.
You don't
and
want
just
to, you don't want to tell me the details of it, because right now I can't talk to you about the facts and I don't know what happened, but talk with your attorney. The attorney
Is there
that you
any-
have on your other case may be
Yeah.
the same attorney that you have on this case, but
All right.
now the bond is a lot more, and it's set at $100,000 cash surety bond, $100,000 cash surety, and if you bond out, you must report to court services. It
So the
doesn't
bond
change
out-
the other case or the other bond, it just is a new bond on the new case. So
How much would I have to have with that bond to get out?
you're gonna have to talk to the bonding company to find that out exactly. I don't get involved with it. It's usually 10% of what they're asking, but you gotta check with them. I'm not entirely sure.
Court want to
You
make
know
a
the
note.
two dates are
I think-
October 16 and October 23. Your case stays with me. You got fingerprinted already?
Yeah.
What was your question?
I had a question, Judge.
Go ahead, Mr. Hillary.
Sean Perry represents Mr. Daly on the other cases. Just a note that she should probably have all of them.
Okay, and we'll need to contact her, we will, from our court to let her know that he's in so she can come and talk to you, Mr. Daly.
All right. If you could do that
All
as
right.
soon as possible, please.
Yep, we will. Today, when I'm done doing videos with these other people, we'll contact Ms. Perry. Thank you for your
All right.
courtesy. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Foster.
Is it Everett Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Foster, I'm Judge Sara Smolenski. I have you in front of me from a case that goes back to August 2nd, which is 2 months ago. Oh, sorry, a year and 2 months ago. They're talking 2019. August 2nd of 2019 is a year and 2 months ago. Somewhere up at the North Green Meadow Mobile Home Park in Gaines Township, when you were ticketed for driving on a suspended license. So the case itself is just a driving suspended misdemeanor, but you never have been able to deal with it at court. I don't know physically on that day whether you got a ticket or physically on that day you went to jail. I'm not certain what happened. They were saying you drove a 2003 Buick and that it was in the North Green Meadow area in Gaines Township,
Yes.
and that your license
where I
at
lived.
that moment in time was suspended. So driving on a suspended license is a misdemeanor, up to 93 days in jail, up to $500 fine, 2 points on your license. You have the right to plead guilty or not guilty. You have the right to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You have the right to have an attorney. If you couldn't afford an attorney, the court could appoint one for you. Then you pay the expense of a court-appointed attorney. You'd have the right to have a trial where you could bring in witnesses, cross-examine witnesses, take the stand yourself, be a witness if you wanted to. If you chose not to, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, again, that's August 2nd, 2019. Do you have an idea how that is so long ago? Do you remember it at all?
I don't remember at all. I thought
Okay.
I did time for that already. That's
You
what I
had
thought.
a ticket. You definitely had a ticket a month later, March 31, 2019. Exact same charge, looks like exact same automobile, driving on a suspended that you did plead to and you owed money on. And then you had a case that was a retail fraud
been so long
shoplifting
ago.
at the Marketplace Meyer in Gaines Township. That goes back to June last year, and you owe money on that. So on two cases that maybe you've been in jail on for, I don't know, two cases
that's
for
what I'm
us,
thinking.
driving suspended and retail fraud, still
Yeah,
outstanding
that's
monies
what
are
I'm
owed.
thinking. It combined
What
together.
about other
I guess.
cases?
I think it combined together, I think, or whatever, what I did, because I did
What
time for
about
both
other
of them.
cases? Other cases in any other courts? Do you have any right now?
I just got one now or whatever from.
Are you being
suspended.
held on another case out of another court right now?
I think it's from Noego, I think, I'm not sure.
Okay, Nuevo. So somehow you thought, possibly, that this August 2019 driving suspended somehow got put together with
Yeah.
the March 2019 driving suspended case. So one was in March and one was in August last year,
Yeah.
and you thought somehow they were put together, like one got dropped,
Yeah.
or what happened?
That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
I think I did 10 days or something like that, combined with the 30 days. A 30-day with the retail fraud thing or whatever. I did 3 days. I thought they combined it together. And I didn't receive any paperwork or anything, saying, I show cause or anything like that or whatever, because I still lived at the same address. I
Is
still
North Green
live
Meadow
at the
where you
same
still are
address
now?
today. Yeah, it's still the same address.
Still address 314 North Green Meadow?
Yes, it's still the same.
Okay, let
It
me
hasn't
ask you this,
changed.
Mr. Foster. Let me ask you this. If the time you're talking about doing, 30 days at one point, 10 days at another point, if those were jail that you served on these two cases you're talking about, do
Yes.
you remember ever paying your fines? You got monetary fines and you got
No,
jail time.
I don't remember paying any, and honestly, I don't remember, Judge, Your Honor.
Okay, I appreciate it. And then somehow you thought perhaps that the August ticket, 6 months later, 5 months later.
Because I pled guilty on all of them, you know what I'm saying?
But see, what I'm saying is our case from August 2nd a year ago,
Yeah.
we never show that you pled guilty on it. We don't show anything. We don't show
Oh my
that you
gosh.
ever came to court on it.
Well.
We do show
well,
that you came to court on the other two, and we do show that you pled guilty on the other two, the retail fraud at Meyer and the driving suspended from March.
Yes.
But this August 2nd last year,
Yeah.
it looks like you never came in, never talked to anyone, never dealt with it. It's been outstanding the
Yeah,
whole
that's-
time.
That's what,
Okay, well,
that's
let's
what
do
kind of
this.
confuses.
Yep.
That's what
I
kinda
don't have a
confuses-
problem if you want to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just what this kind of confusing because I know I pled guilty on every one of them that I know of, that, you know.
But this
and
one, you're saying
I-
you don't remember it.
I just don't remember, honestly.
So
I
you
don't
couldn't
remember,
plead
Your Honor.
guilty to something you didn't remember, right?
Right, like I said,
It's
I
a year
just,
ago.
you know, I don't
It's a
know.
year ago, so that's a long time. I'll just say not guilty on the new one. It'll be a $500 PR bond. You won't have to post any money to get out on that. It's
Okay.
not guilty on the driving suspended from August 2nd, 2019 at North Green Meadows. It's a driving suspended. You can decide what you want to do on. The other two cases, there's about $1,450 owed, as in 1,450. What do you do right now by way of income?
No, I don't have no income right now, but I'm trying
how
to
do you
look
get
for a job
by?
right now. So,
How do you live at that North Green Meadow mobile home? Who is that? Your mom?
yeah,
Does your
Yes,
mom live
yep.
there?
yep.
Does
And
anybody
she's-
else besides your mom live there?
No, that's it.
And your mother presumably is retired,
Yes.
and she pays for pretty much everything, your groceries, your
Yes.
food,
Yes.
living
yes,
at the mobile
honestly,
home?
She is.
and just
a mobile home.
ballpark, how long have you lived with your mom?
Ballpark, probably 6-7 months maybe now, from now.
Okay, I thought you were going to say years, so it's only been half a year.
Yeah,
So prior to that, of course, you were on your own, living somewhere else, dealing with your own
Yeah.
issues.
yep.
What exactly has happened that has caused you to be, so dependent on your mom? Is that a fair question? I don't know.
I don't know, I think it's just there's a lot of stress, a lot of mental issues that I'm
Yeah.
having. I'm
So
trying
you
to
have
file
some
for
mental
Social
health
Security.
issues? What's your age roughly, 40-something?
I'm 52.
52? I was just guessing.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's going to happen, and I know it's not going to be easy. And this
I know.
isn't on your mom, it's only on you.
Right,
I made a 500 PR bond on the other case,
okay.
but you got to pay for the other two cases that are real old. $634 on the driving suspended ticket. On the retail fraud, it's $820. So you're talking
Okay.
$1,454 total. If you don't pay it, it's about a month in jail. It's about a month, 30 days. It's about 28, 29, 30 days. If you can pay it, you'd be released, still with a not guilty on that year-old case of driving suspended that you don't remember. You can talk to the prosecutor about it. You can discuss whether that should have been taken care of with the other cases or what you thought. Have them look back on it. Right now, I'm just telling you, we never had you plead guilty to that case.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
And I get that, Mr. Foster. Okay, so it's not guilty on the new driving suspended that isn't so new because it's back in, 2019, August of 2019. But the other two cases, it's what we call a civil contempt pay, or just under $1,454. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Can I ask the question?
Just do
Sure,
the 3
go ahead,
days.
Mr. Hillary.
Can I just do the 3 days?
He indicated to me, and I asked, hold on. He indicated to me he has no money whatsoever. He has no money.
Hold on, Mr. Foster. Don't leave yet.
Yes.
We're not quite done. Don't leave yet. We're not quite done. Mr. Hillary, we're getting bad audio.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
He told me he has no money. He has child support problems. He's not going to be able to pay the $1,454, so he's going to end up doing the time. He indicated he wanted to plead guilty. He may not remember the driving while license suspended from August of 2019. My suggestion to him is, since he's not going to get out of jail anywhere, is to plead no contest to that and take care of all of these
Can I give you
matters.
that file? Okay. I don't object to that in any way, but Mr. Foster, that newer case that we were talking about, August 2nd of 2019, it's got to be a decision you make. No contest means you don't tell me the facts of the case. I review the police report. But if you plead no contest to that, it's treated just like pleading guilty. So for purposes of penalty, it would be just like pleading guilty. Mr. Hillary is trying to indicate, since you're going to be doing the 30 days anyway, and you take care of this old case, you'd be done with everything with us. Now, I got nothing to do with Nuevo. I got nothing to do with any other court you might have business in. I'm only talking about these 3 tickets.
Well, that's what I want to do.
So if we go back, if you go back and make a decision on this August 2nd, 2019 ticket, driving suspended, you either were suspended or you're not. You're either driving or you're not. It has to be your decision. But pleading no contest is an option that people have when they don't remember something, but the police report supports that it happened.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Like I said, plead non-contest.
No contest?
Yep, non-contest.
Yeah, so how, is the address where your mom? I get it.
Huh?
Is the address where your mom is at, is 314 North Green Meadow?
Yes, that is correct.
So Whitacombe is no good.
Right. No good
And
at
the
all.
address at North Green Meadow is 314.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right, so did you get that? So if I go back to August 2nd, 2019, in a 2003 Buick, blue in color,
Yes.
in the location of North Green Meadows and Center Green Meadow in Gaines Township, to a charge they call driving on a suspended license,
Yes.
you have the right to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. And in pleading no contest,
Yes.
it's treated
No
the same
contest.
as pleading guilty. Do you understand that?
Right. Yes, I understand that, yes.
Okay. Well, this is at 4 in the morning. They said you got ticketed. So I'm going to ask you as to that driving on a suspended license, August 2nd, 2019, how do you wish to plead?
No contest.
And you get
remember.
that it's treated technically like pleading guilty.
Right, right.
I don't have a copy of the police report in this file. But I have the face of the ticket that's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4/11. The officer's name was Omar Diepa, Kent County Sheriff's Office. Claims you were driving a 2003 Buick automobile in the area of North Green Meadow Street and Center Green Meadow Street, and that at the time, at 4 in the morning, they talked with you. You did not have a valid driver's license at that moment in time. They indicated that your license was suspended because of a variety of different driver responsibility fees that had not been paid in full yet. They had not been paid in full yet, and that the Secretary of State, over a period of time, had suspended your license further. And in fact, they gave you an additional suspension in July, the summer of 2019, through August 12, which would have been 10 days after this ticket was issued, 2019. Nobody is making you plead no contest today, are they, Mr. Foster?
No, nobody's.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'll accept the plea of no contest. I'm not gonna add any more monies onto this. I'll just say, no, the fines and court costs on this, I'm gonna waive. There was a $75 crime victims' right fee that I'm required to order in every case. And the jail will be a 93-day suspended jail sentence where I'll give you 30 days credit for time served with the time that you're doing on the monies on these other 2 tickets. So this will all run together,
Okay.
concurrent, so that your cases, once that time period is finished, you'll be done with all the cases in our court. Are you with
Okay.
me?
Yes, I am with you. Yes, correct.
Okay, that'll finalize it. Do you want us to try to call your mom, or will you be able to get a hold of her so she knows where you are?
She knows where I'm at. Yeah, she
Okay,
does know
that's
where
good
I'm at.
then.
I just
All
don't,
right,
like I
that's
say,
good.
I just don't have no money.
Yes, I understand. Things can change too, so if it does, you'd be able to get out. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Foster. Thank you, Mr. Hillary, on that. I think you helped in that regard. Jennifer Cole? Ms. Shank, what case are you here on?
I'm on an eviction one. I was told to be in here at 2 o'clock.
Okay, I think it's 10 after 3 right now, so I don't know if you were thinking
Yeah,
2,
I've
you
been
missed it.
on in the waiting room since 2 o'clock, and it had
Let
let
me
me
just
in.
say, I think you're in the wrong Zoom room, because we're doing all criminal
I can't
cases
hear you if
today.
you're talking.
Oh, you can't? You can't hear me at all? No. Can you send her a note, Amanda? Okay. Ms. Shank, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
You're in the wrong Zoom room. The paperwork that you have, does it say what court you're zooming in with? Why don't you just put her in another room and I'll get back to her. Okay, Jennifer Cole, my name is Judge Sara Smolenski, and I have you in front of me on a couple of different cases that I need to talk to you about. The old case is a larceny case out of the family fair in Sparta. It goes back to May 19 last year. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that case there's monies owed on, but now they're saying you have a new case. And the new case is called an arraignment on a child abuse 4th degree. They're charging you with child abuse in the 4th degree by causing physical harm to a Connor Cole by hitting him multiple times. It's a misdemeanor, Ms. Cole. 1 year in jail or probation for up to 5 years. You have the right to plead guilty or not guilty. You have the right to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You have the right to have an attorney. And if you cannot afford an attorney, the court can appoint an attorney to represent you. Now, when you're talking about this kind of a case, child abuse in the 4th degree, the decision that you would make in the end would have to be yours. But as a misdemeanor up to 1 year in jail, you have every opportunity to talk to an attorney to discuss the case in more detail, to find out what all your options are and what route you want to go. You have the right to have a trial where you could bring in witnesses, cross-examine witnesses, take the stand yourself, be a witness if you wanted to. If you chose not to, your silence cannot be held against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So far, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Currently, right now, are you on probation or parole?
I just recently was placed on probation in Nuevo County.
Okay, so Nuevo County, you may want to talk to your probation officer over there.
She's aware. She's
I'm
aware.
sure. And this case goes back to May 4. So if you were just on probation in Nuevo, it's not really going to affect them. But you still could talk to your attorney or talk to your probation officer about it if you needed to get into more detail.
Okay.
If there was anything about this case that you wanted to appeal, you're given 21 days after being sentenced to appeal a case to the higher court. Do you feel like you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions for me right now?
No, ma'am.
Is the Woodfield apartment complex where you live?
No. The court should have
So I had Woodfield as an old address. What is it now?
It's 14101 Sparta Ave, and that's lot 20 in Kent City.
When you say block 20?
Lot. Sorry,
Oh,
lot 20.
I thought you said block. Okay. Lot 20 because
sorry.
it's the mobile home park.
Yes, ma'am.
Sparta, Michigan.
Kent City, Michigan.
Kent City, sorry. And what's
It's
the
okay.
zip code in Kent City?
I believe it's 49330.
Okay. And so I was going to ask you regarding this child abuse 4th degree. All we do today is say not guilty. So you're able to look into it further, get an attorney, talk about it more, get as much details as you can about all the options available, but you can't miss your appointment. They'll
Okay.
set up a pretrial conference with you and your attorney and the prosecutor. It's probably going to be done by Zoom.
Okay.
Okay, now, where do you work or are you working?
Well, I just actually was incarcerated in Nuevo. I just did 50 days over there.
As in 50?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
50 is in 50 days? So, okay, you obviously haven't been working the last 2 months. You've been in custody.
Right.
How many kids are
I
you
have
responsible for?
I have 3 boys.
Connor being one of them?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the ages of the 3 kids?
17, 15, and 12.
And which one is Connor?
Connor's 15.
Okay, when you've been in custody for a month and a half, who takes care of the kids?
Their father. They were at their father's.
Do you live with the father or are you guys separate households?
We are going through a divorce, but I still live in the household.
So is the Sparta Avenue mobile home where you live as a family, but the kids go back and forth?
No, we all live there, Your Honor.
Oh, so the husband lives there too, but you're just separating. You're in the process
Yes.
of a divorce.
Yes, ma'am.
Does your husband work outside the home?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Do you remember the larceny case you had at the family fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why that hasn't been paid for?
Honestly, Your Honor, I guess I completely forgot. I had relapsed. I don't know if you,
I
that's what
don't
my
have
case.
the background of anything that you got going on in your life, so you have a
Oh.
drug addiction and you've had problems with that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I lost my mom recently and I relapsed pretty hard.
Okay.
I
When did
just
your mom
received
pass?
in June.
Okay. Well, everything's been turned upside down with COVID, no doubt about that. And I don't know if your boys are in school or not in school doing virtual or
No,
whatever.
ma'am.
But the old case, there's $396 owed on it. The
Okay.
new, not so new, the case that we're talking about from May 4 of 2020, the child abuse, I'm just going to make it a $5,000 PR bond. I'm not going to
Okay.
make you post money on that case to get out. Today we'll say not guilty. Child Protective Services has been involved, correct?
I spoke to one lady once and she said they weren't even going to open a case. So I didn't know about this charge at all until I got here.
Uh-huh. Well, I'd want to I'd like to follow whatever Child Protective Services. I'm not going to say you can't go back to the residence, which means you're going to have contact with Connor. But Connor isn't the one deciding to go forward with this case. This is the prosecutor's office that makes the decision. Connor
Yeah,
has
he
very
didn't know
little.
about.
He has nothing to do with it. But I don't want to order a no contact if Child Protective Services hasn't ordered that. But here's the key. You're going to have to pay the $396 on the old case to get out of jail. It's what we refer to as a civil contempt. And that money's got to be paid, but I'm not going to make you post a bond on the new case of the child abuse fourth. Then you'll have your meeting with the prosecutor, pretrial conference, talk with an attorney, decide what you're going to do. So the 50 days you did in Nuevo has nothing to do with either one of these cases.
Right.
But if your family or anyone can post just short of $400, $396, then you're out today, assuming you're not held on anything else. I got
I'll
nothing
be
else
here.
except these. Go ahead.
I'm actually here until next week's, I think the 8th of next week or something, for
Okay,
sluice.
well, you'll get credit for all those days that you're in towards that $396.
Okay,
So
okay,
it'll
that's
either
all I was
wipe it
wondering.
out, it'll either wipe it out, or it will reduce it, and they'll tell you what, with you doing
Okay.
your time on your other business. Okay, any other questions that you have for me at all? Ms. Cole?
No, Your Honor.
How many
Mr.
days,
Hillary?
how many days does she serve if she paid the 96?
Let me see, the jail people really are better at knowing that.
And
I'd
so
say
much-
it's around 9 days,
Okay.
around 9 days.
The reason I wanted her, she's gonna be in jail, Ms. Cole, you're gonna be in jail till next week and maybe longer, so I would wait before you start calling the family about paying the money,
No,
okay?
I just want to serve the days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
For
that's
it. I'm
fine.
just
I
gonna
think
s-
it's about 9 or 10 days, depending on how they do the
All right, yeah,
time.
thank
And
you.
I don't have a problem since you were brought from Nuevo, whenever you were brought from Nuevo to start it then.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. So today's day 2. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thanks for your courtesy. Don't miss the
Oh.
date when they tell you when to be involved.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Hillary, thanks for your work. You're going to withdraw from the cases that you were involved in?
Yes, from Mr. Daly, Mr. Foster, and Ms. Cole, thank you.
All right, we'll grant the withdrawals. Thanks so much, Mr. Hillary, for your help.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy. Sure appreciate it. I don't think we need this anymore.